Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Chronicles of Darkness, Vampire the Requiem, Requiem for London, as if this title wasn't already long enough. Welcome to another scene. It's the night after the Elysium, after that rather dramatic declaration by the bishops of the Lancare et Sanctum of London landed like the proverbial bombshell. However, this evening after that, one Marcus Irons of the Order of Cool is making his way through the London city, through what used to be called Westminster, but to be fair, London is a big town, and if it weren't for the subway, well, yeah, it probably would take several hours travel just to get from one place to another. However, we find him standing in front of the Cutthroat Butcher Shop. Since he had already, in a text, informed Chloe that he'd like to have a nice friendly chat, maybe a briefer of the developments of the night before, and thus he finds himself in front of aforementioned butcher shop. But this time he's not alone. This time he's got a friend with him. It's Rusty. Many months ago, when Marcus still had a pulse and Rusty was on the verge of halfway freezing and starving to death, it happened that he came across the little pup, and even through diverse trials and tribulations, this hound hasn't been far from this venture. One could say a boy and his dog, but speaking of that, Marcus decides to rap his knuckles on the shop and letting Chloe know that he has arrived.
And of course, the notification is going to be Roadkill going absolutely bonkers at the door knock. And you'll hear the as he's coming down the stairs, and he shows up in the door window, like he's up on his hind leg looking through the door window, tail wagging, tongue out, is just like looking.
Hey, Roadkill, it's me, Marcus, and look, I brought you one of my oldest friends. He smiles. By the way, simply assume that he has put animalism 1 on feral speech. He will be speaking in English, but the dog will understand it in canine, I suppose.
Yes. And you'll hear like a little click, and again, it's like right inside the door there's like these little ropes, and he unlocked the door and like cracked it open using said rope.
Good boy. And offers to give Roadkill head pats, this time being very careful that he definitely avoids that. Ooh, is that a fleshy bit? Yeah, it's a fleshy bit.
Yeah, just that one spot you keep on getting that he just loves to rub. And he'll start like, you'll probably walk in, and then Rusty will go walk in, and it's like that common like meet at the nose dog meeting.
Yeah.
The tails are like straight, and then Roadkill's tail will like start to slowly wag, and they'll do like that confrontational, like almost pounce. It's an adorable thing. I love watching it, but the tail starts wagging more. Like he's like, okay, wait, yeah, maybe, okay, yeah, and tail wagging, he'll run up the stairs.
Yeah. Rusty gives Marcus a look, and Marcus just says, I know. He smells a bit strong, but he's okay. He's a good one. You can trust me. Yes. There's just a yes, Alpha. And then Marcus just sort of, go boy, play with them. And Rusty just rushes off after Roadkill, the two of them are being ridiculously adorable, playing with each other.
I love dogs. I love dogs. And go upstairs. She's on the second story, which is like that living quarters area. And she's at the table. She's like furiously typing on a keyboard and like throwing attachments in a file. And it's just kind of like muttering to herself, of course I had to come back at a busy time. Of course I had to be late coming doing all my freaking research, and is just like they're just gonna have to deal with what I found and make it do. And I'll get them more research next month. I promise. I promise. And hearing the barking probably from the two dogs playing, she'll like look out the door and then see Marcus in the doorway.
Marcus gives her a friendly wave.
You're already here. Hold on. Let me just send this, and then I'm free.
It's fine. And Marcus just it's hard to say if he's just doing it in jest or if he's doing it genuinely, but he just demonstratively sticks his fingers in his ears and turns around. Just let me know when you're done.
Oh no, it's nothing like our community base. It's a YouTube channel.
Oh, so you're one of those vloggers?
No, I am a researcher for one of those bloggers. They're called the Mythic League, and they like to investigate into the paranormal.
Aha.
I give them bullshit information that keeps them busy, but keeps the views coming in. Which
I see. You're pulling a Bram Stoker on them. Nice. Good.
Well, the best way to put it is that it's like Destination Unknown, where it's just like you have all this information and all these like witnesses and whatnot, but do they actually discover it? No.
Oh, you mean like those ghost hunting episodes that just never got into anything?
Yes.
I swear I swear I've seen more nasty spirits than they ever have.
I do their research.
I see, feeding them misinformation. My. My old buddies would have been proud. You know, the third column, it's not terribly glamorous, but somebody has to do the dirty work.
Yes. Come on in. What's up?
Yeah, so I thought we'd find ourselves a nice, comfortable spot.
Oh yeah, shit.
Huh?
Oh yeah, shit. And she'll like throw one more attachment in there and send the email off.
It's fine. I've already hunted for the night, so I'm full. Any more drop, and that just would have been sheer decadence.
So, let me get my boots on, and we'll head on over. Are we gonna walk?
Have you got a car or a bike by any chance? If not, I'll re-requisition one for ourselves.
I was gonna say Uber.
Yeah, that's how I came here. Mind you, I had to pay extra because of old Rusty there, and he just sort of gestures at the two dogs.
Do you want to leave them here? That way we don't have to pay extra?
To be fair, I've got enough squirrel jerky to keep them busy, so yeah, why not? I mean, Rusty's pretty well trained. Just let him know where he can do his business, and he'll be fine.
Roadkill will show him.
Very good. Okay, and he whistles, and Rusty comes nice, very well trained to his side. Yeah, good boy. Okay. So the Alpha's being off with the other Alpha, but you've got company. You and Roadkill play nice, right? No hard biting. Yep.
They'll probably let out woofs of approval.
Good, good. Oh, and by the way, and he just produces the squirrel jerky and just sort of tosses it in the garden, or whatever area is designated dog play area.
Yeah, no, and then they'll totally run off. And so just like and be like, there's also a door that they can get out of to go run around the park if they want to.
Very good, very good. And Rusty, don't forget, big metal boxes, keep your eyes on them. Good boy. Have fun.
Big metal boxes?
Cars.
Oh yeah.
He's not ghouled or made into a familiar, so I mean, love him. Absolutely love the little scamp, but put it that way, it's not a border collie, so I'm trying to keep it simple. I mean, he knows what a pistol is, and he knows what to do when he sees one, but that's a story for another evening.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Rhodesian Ridgebacks, and he's got a reasonably powerful bite, so no wonder they used them for lion hunting back in South Africa.
She'll get her boots on and grab her jacket off the door.
Marcus is already ordering an Uber. So, I thought I'd treat you to one of my favorite little haunts, the Hammerhead. Or as an old man on Tatooine once would say, a hive of scum and villainy.
Yes. Absolutely.
Mind you, as far as Thor's MC goes, they're cool. They and I are cool. If one of them gives you lip, I'll just let the boss man know, and he'll make sure that guy remembers his manners. If anyone else gives you lip, well, I know that you'll probably just knock him out cold, but please let me handle it. Yeah, won't take too long. An Uber driver shows up, and it doesn't take 15, let's say 20 minutes. And they're in the heart of Orderdrickle territory. It's not quite Croydon, but it's definitely bordering on it. And then you see it in some older neon signs that probably haven't been renewed since the 80s. The Hammerhead Bar.
Yeah, you'll notice that she actually looks a little tired. Like she probably didn't get nearly enough sleep as she needed to. But she'll gladly follow you in, take a look around.
Bikers, punks, metalheads. There is probably one corner where two guys are just taking turns at slapping the shit out of each other. In another corner, you have got your typical pub games. In the third corner, you have got darts. About half of the darts just don't hit the target, speaking to the inebriation of the people around. And then in the last corner, rather nice and solid, although clearly battered, is the place where you can order the drinks and the snacks. And there is I would just say grizzled or fellow behind him. I mean, he could be could have been a captain on some fisher trawler for like 30 years, but he sees Marcus and just gives him a knowing nod. Evening, John. Yeah. What would you like to drink?
Whiskey. whiskey's a good choice tonight.
You know what? Yeah. Okay. One whiskey and one whiskey on the rocks for me, please. The grizzled man just nods again. Doesn't take too long, and some very freshly poured whiskies are offered. Marcus just automatically pulls a £10 note and just hands it to John. There you go. Always good to see you, boss. Don't have to call me that. Captain is fine.
You're known as the captain here. Okay.
Let's just say these folks around here appreciate a veteran. Mind me if I ask, but I didn't even thought it was possible, but you look a bit tired. Everything okay?
When the word war is mentioned among Carthians, we tend to party a little hard. I'll be right back.
Go for it. And now, a word from our sponsors. Oh wait, we don't have sponsors. Enjoy your free content. We'll be right back. And talking about right back, we are back.
No, sorry. We have a little mini vineyard, and a dog was in the vineyard, so it's just like, get out of the vineyard. So, anywho, she takes a drink after like saying like Carthians party hard. I forgot.
How hard?
And she kind of like pops her jaw, just like maybe like a couple have gotten into some playful scuffles. Yeah. I forgot. I was just doing scouting while everybody's been doing training. Just give me a few nights. I'll be back to my old self.
It's okay. It's okay. I mean, I would like to pull the I'm a middle-aged old man card, but I have to say, at least one upside of being embraced. No pains in the joints, energy out the wazoo. Frankly, I feel very alive. If I didn't know better, I could swear that I wasn't a day older than 20. Well, and he sort of ponders. And he's sort of on the physical part, and then he just sort of looks down in the general area between his knees, and libido dead, though. Dead as a doornail.
So what else do we do around here in this bar?
Well, we have a poker room in the back, if you want a little bit more privacy.
I think for what's going to be spoken about, probably would be best.
And John knows to keep an eye out. And Marcus just produces 2 20s and just goes, just to be on the safe side, keep the change. And John just goes, man, you're spoiling me. Just appreciate good work, old friend. Yeah. Don't worry, Captain. I'll keep an eye out. And with that, he unlocked. He has got 3 different keys that he uses to unlock the poker room, and the 2 of them can stroll in. There is a corner with different alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages, and yeah. And then after that, you can close it from the inside with 3. How do you call it? Damn.
Deadbolts?
Deadbolts. There we go. Right. If you fancy any drinks, they're included in the service.
Thank you.
And he himself will pour himself a rum and coke.
She's still nursing her whiskey.
Yeah, Marcus has got his blush of life on, so downing the drinks seems no problem to him per se. Although one thing, especially for a character your age, is clear. He obviously has blush of life on, but it's just a little paler than you have it with young Kindred. Normally indicating Kindred who are a little older and have only just started slipping with their grip on humanity. So, if she had to guess, a high 6? Yeah, probably a high 6. Because otherwise he is breathing, if slightly shallow. And but the rest he doesn't seem stiff or he blinks and stuff, so it isn't terrible, but it's noticeable.
So how did Elysium go?
Nobody died. We weren't attacked. Yeah, I'd be lying if I say I wasn't a little disappointed.
I'd be disappointed.
Yeah. However, so first we had everyone more or less come in. Then I saw Joshua wander off to what I guess was a meeting of the bishops. There was an exclamation of Deus Volt rather loudly. Even I could hear it, and I wasn't even concentrating at the time. So that's that. I'll get to that a little later. Then we had Julian chatting with one of our Sworn of the Axe members. And I don't know what on earth possessed him, but he mentioned the words shard and violet loud enough that, to quote a creepy clown that I know, that being Farthingdale, passing, what was that? Passing channel traffic could hear that one. So I just had to stop myself just face palming repeatedly. Obviously, everyone around just turned their heads like on command. Damn, how time can be creepy sometimes.
Yeah.
And just a sec. Out of character, who's there?
Who's here?
You're muted.
I know.
Okay, so while they are talking about that, one Joshua Bainforth enters the Hammerhead of all places. I'll let you.
I mean, he's been here before. It's fun.
Yes. You will know that the grizzled guy behind the place where you get the alcohol is called John, and there is a little sign up that clearly indicates that the poker room is busy at the moment. But yes, you've.
Let me get from an out of character perspective. I assume I just walked in as you were talking about me, which engendered the reaction.
Were we?
Sorry, we were just talking about Elysium, and all of a sudden, boom! Like, oh, okay, let's do this.
Nah, it's fine. So our characters are talking, but Joshua's entered the thing. What would Josh? So we are just freeze framing the Ordo and the Carthian as we focus on the Ringmaster. Your move, sir.
So Joshua strides with purpose into the Hammerhead. He will very casually walk through the bar, at which point he will tap on his awe, because awe, fun fact about that little majesty discipline, lets people ignore things like minor criminal infractions. So he is just going to pop on awe and walk straight into the poker room. As the barman is just standing there going, so pretty. So pretty.
Yeah, the barman just says, sort of, oh yeah, go in. Marcus is in there. He has a friend.
So as he closes the door behind him, he will turn off awe, because it's free, so why not?
And you find yourself at another door that has got 3 deadbolts there, which can't be charmed. But you have enough space that you could knock on the door, for example.
Or he could put his fist through the door. Vigor is a hell of a drug.
That is a possibility too.
He will knock on the door.
Yeah, you see something slide. I swear by... And he closes as you hear 3 deadlocks slowly being opened and Marcus just saying, Chloe, it's Bishop Baneforth. It's Joshua, just to warn you. He wouldn't be here if he didn't want something. And with that, he opens the next thing and lets Baneforth walk in.
Which Chloe just looks absolutely comfortable where she's sitting at the table.
Perfect. Marcus goes back to his comfy chair and is clearly enjoying the Cuba Libre. Anyway.
I came here to let you know. Joshua looks down at his clock in his hands. He takes out a pocket watch and he says, well, as of tonight, my covenant marches to war.
I'd guessed as much from yesterday's declaration. Whatever you did, good job.
My covenant intends to smash the Ordo into a bloody pulp for their sins. I came here to offer you my protection.
A simple heads up would have done, and then I would have pissed off.
We're not leading an attack tonight, but the simple fact of the matter is that it is coming. His eyes flick over to Chloe, and he says, I assume even now the Carthians are debating how it is they are going to respond to our alliance.
Yeah. As she's
How's
just
that?
hearing it like an attack on the Ordo and a little confused.
The Ordo are backing the Invictus and are performing experiments of a gross and heinous nature that offend not only the will of God, but the will of man. We
and
intend
the will
to
of
stamp it out.
kindred. Marcus adds. And to be precise, it is from my perspective, it's either the core, or I would guess it is a certain chunk of the Ordo that has been infected with the same rot that infected parts of the Invictus. Those that have dragged not only members of your covenant away into the Shard, but also created berserkers such as myself and all other manner of heinous things that other people would call war crimes.
Oh, I've been calling them war crimes for quite a while. But
yes.
Absolutely.
Some Dr. Mengele level shit from the sounds of it.
But, as I said,
I came here to officially offer you, Marcus Irons, the protection of the Langhair et Sanctum. I do not believe you to be inherently at fault for the actions that were taken. As a matter of fact, I believe you to be as much a victim as many of the other victims.
I was probably just one of them who managed to slip through the net or was let go. Whatever the fucking, beg your pardon, whatever the case might be.
Joshua shrugs. It is what it is. So,
It's
I've come
shit
here
show.
and quite so. I've come here, as I said, in order to say that you are not on our targets and will be treated civilly, and I will do my best to keep your property out of our, well, pathway.
Yeah, that would be nice. Especially since it's being cohabitated with another kindred of the Ordo, who I am pretty sure has got nothing to do with the whole story either.
Who might that be?
Nikolai, the maquette.
Oh, I'm going to kill him for fun.
Just for fun?
Not really. He kind of creeps me out a little bit. I'm not going to kill him, but, you know, I wanted to say something grand and gravitas.
Sorry for ruining that. And he just smiles. I mean, I'll agree with you. He's as a maquette as they get. They always creep me out. And that's supposed to be the job of the Nosferatu, for crying out loud.
I live with the Nosferatu. They don't bother me personally.
No, it's more the beast that has got some weird thing about them, but
hey,
yes.
Needless to say, Miss Brothers, it's been a pleasure to see you again.
Pleasure.
I've just trying to reprise her of what happened last night, since she wasn't around, and I thought you might be interested.
I'm actually curious. I assume that the Carthians have agreed that they will be supporting us in our little endeavor to overthrow a corrupt princedom.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. You even had Stansport out of his diplomatic chair to want to go to war.
He shrugs his shoulders. He had to. Once the atrocities became public knowledge, if he didn't move, he would be usurped as the head of your movement, or the figurehead of your movement.
I think he's just finally seeing what needs to be done, considering we've also lost people.
Yes. To be fair, I like the head of the guillotiners, Val. She's a member of my clan.
Bert's a good one.
Her childer still owes me a favor. Now I think about it.
I don't keep track of those.
Well,
favors everywhere.
It's how we operate, Mr. Irons. It makes things so much easier than just cold hard cash.
It is the currency of our thing, and if you think about it, even as humans, at least until relatively recently, it was the people you knew and the favors you could call in. So nothing new there.
You are not wrong.
Yeah. Come to think of it, I wonder what I could pull with the crown. I have at least an elder of the Andrastian who owes me. Because I didn't autumn straight away deliver the bodies to you, remember?
Yes.
A bit of a moot point now, I know.
Not really. Remember, it was the prince who had that assassination attempt carried out on the Primogen's childer.
That's why I gave her the chance. I had the feeling something was rotten there, even if it was just a gut feeling. And she'd been she'd been nice to me, so I thought I'd give her a fair shake. But yes, so you say I'm under your personal protection. So what am I supposed to do, let's say, if a group of your covenant just happens to stumble across me or my building? Is there any way I could authenticate that, or will you be passing on the info? I'm just trying to figure out the practicalities of it. That's all.
Quite so. I will inform my brothers and sisters that you are to be considered a neutral party.
And
I wouldn't
sorry.
and couldn't ask you to move against your own covenant.
If I had an exact list of who exactly was responsible, it would look different, but I'm not privy to that info. And I'm merely stepping aside so that a rot can be ripped out of it, so that hopefully with what remains can heal, and maybe in future the Order might be able to even regain some of its once rather better reputation.
I personally have great hope.
But you have my thanks, Bishop.
He smiles softly before he'll say, I wish you the best in the nights to come, Mr. Irons.
I've survived worse. I'll be okay.
When the Carthians last launched an attempt to take this city, the city burned. I anticipate that it will be nothing less this time around.
Just watch for the fireworks.
Good thing I don't get freaked out by fire or fireworks. He smiles.
Neat.
What was it as you called it? Yeah, yes. One of our parlor tricks.
We're full of them.
But yes, needless to say, I unfortunately have other business to see to this evening. So, I have given you my declaration. You know where we stand. I will I will do my best to make it so that you are not harmed in the coming conflagration. I will inform my brothers and sisters of this.
And, Bishop, should you have news of things we do not speak of, let me know. Somebody has to keep an eye on those goddamn you-know-whats.
I have found a ritual that, with any luck, should allow me to match them blow for blow. It will merely take time to fully uncover the potent secrets of a very old art.
Interesting. You could say I'm doing something similar, but I'm probably approaching it from the other end.
We never did get the chance to have the conversation with your sire. That is mildly irritating to me.
You'd be surprised. Bagman spoke to me yesterday. He had a little bit of
Can I point out that he has the best name in the city? Please continue.
I had a hard time believing him thought that he was having a laugh, but no, apparently that's his nickname. Bagman of all things. But yes. And he said that apparently the sire has shown up. He had to do some more digging. Who knows? It might turn out that also might not be a complete false memory planted in my brain. Or, of course, somebody has been feeding him misinformation, but that would surprise me.
Well, if you need anyone to help you track him down, you know where to find me.
Oh yeah, that bastard will pay. The balance will be addressed. I swore that on a shallow grave, and I'm gonna go through it. Anyway, pardon me. I'll keep my revenge fantasies for myself for the moment. I wish you a good night, Bishop.
He will turn on his knee, he will turn on his heel, and he will walk away out of the building and be gone into the night.
Deadlocks, ka-chink, ka-chink, ka-chink. Yeah,
I don't know about him. I really, really don't. Do you need a place to stay?
You know what? That would be the 6th. Let's say residency move in the last 1, 2, 3 months. No, seriously, I'm starting to feel like a serial nomad here.
So I offered to invite you to the Carthians.
Well,
I know.
okay. Here, okay, you know what? I'm just going to think loudly here and feel free to interject. Okay, so I know at the very least from side of the Lancashire at Sanctum, my current haven is going to be left alone, and my person is not going to be harmed. Good.
Sure.
And if they try to take the Worm's Nest, well, I have worked too hard to secure that place, and let's just say what dwells within needs somebody to check on it from time to time. I wouldn't want that to get loose again. It killed a lot of innocent people.
I know someone who can possibly keep an eye on it, as she's thinking of her friend who, kept an eye on her place while she was gone.
Yeah, but let's just say because I was involved in, for fuck's sake, we were able to decorporealize a materialized spirit of hunger. It was literally sucking people dry and wearing their skin just to lure more people into the building. By the time we got to it, it probably already killed like a dozen people. So, and let's just say through a fight of attrition, we finally managed to decorporealize it and then put it in a circle. In a very specific circle with very specific properties, which, no offense, but I'd rather have somebody around who knows how it works and can be kept safe. So this isn't purely just I've got my shiny goodies there. It is more that I want to make sure this doesn't become a menace for the neighborhood again.
Yeah.
So we're able to lock it, new building, that. So, yeah. Call it an old protector instinct and maybe foolish that I'm worrying about that, but hey, I haven't been kindred that long. Maybe I don't want to be that aloof or that cold yet.
Because there is a third leader in the Carthians. Have you heard of Foster?
I can't say I have.
He's essentially the independent leader, an independent Carthian leader. So you don't have to be a diplomatic, but you also don't have to be a warlord. Is essentially how I've summed it up.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, I'd be really chuffed at your offer.
Know that the offer stands from one soldier to another.
I'll drink to that. And he knocks his glass against yours a little harder than would be necessary.
Nah, it's fine. She's a little like, he just showed up here, threatened Ordo, and then walked out.
Yeah, that's Bishop Baneforth for you. Quite the character. Oh, I don't trust him as far as I could shoot an incendiary round in his back, but I also trust him not to fuck it up that bad with me that it would turn out to fuck him over. Long story. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if... Of course he's playing a game. I mean, if there's one thing I've learned from those greasy cocksuckers that used to be above me, never let a crisis go unused. Even if it was lying to the public.
I need to talk to Verb again.
However, I'm pretty sure that he wants to demolish parts of the Invictus and parts of the Ordo. Yeah. Yeah. It's... Let's just say it's an interesting place to be when you know that they did some pretty foul experimenting on you, but the only way you know is by somebody else who was able to regain his memories. Yeah. And just because I don't have the memories doesn't mean it didn't happen to me. Didn't mean they weren't doing what they weren't supposed to do. And that whole thing with the drug, seriously, it's as if you were going to a third world country and then just start threatening their crops and their drinking water.
Yeah.
And for us, it's worse because those two things are combined in one medium.
I'm excited for war. I'm excited for war. I'll tell you that. But I think a few more things need to be put out there. I'm sorry. That Bangford character.
You know what? Go for it. Tell me what you think about him. You know, think about it as some sort of free-form brainstorming.
Have you ever watched Game of Thrones?
Out of character, we've got the 2010, so I'm not, or 2011. I'm not.
Let me correct that then.
Yeah. Have you read? I know the books are out.
Yeah. Have you read Game of Thrones?
I've got through the first book recently. Yeah, surprisingly good.
Definitely getting Lannister vibes. Because here's the thing, is that we're going from what I feel would be one corrupt leader to another.
I heard that
going for Princedom. I can't remember what I heard about that, but I don't trust them.
Yeah, I won't lie. There is something devious about his nature.
Well, it's not even that. There's certain characteristics about a person that is like you're upfront with them and whatnot. Again, me.
Yeah.
I will trust you with anything until you say otherwise, or you do otherwise. Vibes off of that guy, nah, I ain't playing that. I'm not playing that. So I'm gonna follow Verb because that's who I voted for to lead the Carthians in this fight.
Yeah, well, I just find myself in this conflict. And, yeah, it's fucked up. No clear lines for me.
But Verb and Sansport even, and Foster, they listen. They take my opinion very seriously. I was dragged onto that stage to help interrogate that Invictus that has the blood hunt out on her.
Natalia Belenko?
We have her.
Still residing among us?
Yes, she's currently staked. Per her request, mind you.
Marcus believed Charlie. You know what? Knowing that woman, I believe you. Okay. As safe as anywhere. Yeah, she never seemed at ease in the Invictus. Probably got bullied into joining or some shit.
So we have her. And
Well,
because I told them that it's another body in our bag until she proves otherwise, give her a chance. And they listen, if that makes any sort of
it makes sense. It makes sense. When somebody turns coats, even if it's for the good reasons, you have to be careful.
She said something about her mind possibly being tampered with.
Damn, it's getting chronic around here.
Is it contagious?
No, but I can't even remember now if I actually mentioned it to you. But yeah, I've got a strong suspicion that there are some memories missing out of my noggin. Memories that might actually clear up a few things for me and delineate lines more clearly. However, yeah, find a kindred that you can trust to rummage around your head and not leave some little suggestion in there.
She stands up and she goes back to the bar and fills another whiskey.
Let's just say I've got the feeling there might be the odd command left in there that I'm just not knowledged of. But then again, it could also be my paranoia. That's the worst thing. It's plausible enough with our kind that it's a possibility. But I'm also aware that I might just be a little paranoid at the moment, which makes perfect sense.
Paranoia keeps you alive.
It does, but well, I guess I should be happy that I don't produce serotonin anymore, because a lot of that stuff over a long time, yeah, that normally hurts an immune system. Then again, I'm undead, so That's less of a problem. But yeah, it's like a dog trying to chase its tail. It's just out of reach. And frankly, it just annoys the hell out of me when you can't even trust all your memories.
Mm-hmm.
I thought once I'd actually got away from that goddamn wanker Allsop, I'd have some peace and quiet. I'd be done with this bullshit. But no. Yeah, no. Fuck it. I'm no goddamn victim. Fuck that. I'm not going into that mentality. I just fucking refuse. No. But yeah, has made me a bit jittery. That's for sure. You know, just sort of that worry. Should I throw myself right into the battle, or is that maybe exactly what they want? Or am I snooping a little too hard there, or am I not being careful enough? Oh. Seriously, I probably would have more luck trying to draw blood from a stone than get an answer to that question. And he seems genuinely just pissed off and a bit frustrated. Actually, come to think of it, I probably should get into contact with some of the Carthians and see if, if I can get a little neutral zone established around my haven. That would be nice. Like a little bit of Switzerland. That'd be nice.
Contact Foster.
Foster who?
I can't remember his first name, but his last name is Foster. And that's how she usually says
Let's
it.
just assume, she says the full name and he goes like, oh.
Blah Foster.
Mm-hmm.
Independent representative of the Carthians, where you don't want to be a diplomat, but you don't want to follow a warlord.
All right, Yeah, just wanted to ask, you wouldn't happen to have a number or an email or something in that direction?
I can send it to you.
That'd be grand.
Because Stanford is angry right now, so I wouldn't necessarily go to him right now. And I definitely would not bug Verb right now because she's probably got her guillotine teams going at it.
Yeah, sharpening the axe blades, I take it.
Yeah, and I have to join them.
Ah, so you're a guillotiner.
Not fully yet, but I'm pretty sure after voting for her last night, Stansford isn't definitely going to be wanting me on his personal team.
How is he doing, by the way?
He's pissed.
I bet he is. I actually sort of regret the fact that I haven't really had the chance to have a talk with the guy. If nothing else, there are so few Ventru around who are not in the Invictus.
I've only ever seen one other Ventru as pissed as Stansford, and that was almost 40 years ago. Almost 40 years ago.
Yeah. And Marcus just seems to be like whispering to himself, just sort of muttering like, "No, dude, you have to keep the place safe."
You know where I live in case you ever feel threatened.
Mind. Okay. Anyway, I'll have a contact detail.
Without the Carthian title, you're welcome there.
So, out of character, sorry, I completely blanked there. My mistake. Could you please repeat that?
She says, you know where I live. If your house is threatened, get to the butcher shop. Text me. I'll meet you there. I'll get you safe. I'll get you deeper in. Because unfortunately, mine I tend to keep on the outline. That way, I'm kind of border control.
That's actually a very generous offer of you. What would you want in return?
Consideration. Because, again, I got to talk to Verve to see how she's feeling about the small group of Ordo that have been recruited into helping the Invictus. And convince her that not all of them are bad.
I'd be more than happy to plead my case.
Yeah.
Well, not that I really would have to plead it, but I could give her some. I could give her at least some info straight from the horse's mouth. And maybe also stand as a proof of that a select group has done what they shouldn't have. Heck, I'd even be willing to give up a little bit of my vitae for that if any of your guys wants to separately check out my claim.
Pretty sure Stanspert would be up for that, considering what I witnessed. I'm not going to go into details. I don't even know what the fuck I saw that night. And I think that might be also why I'm tired, because it's just like, possibly a ghost. I don't like ghosts.
Ghosts? What ghosts?
Again, I don't even know that much about it.
Well, I'll let you in on something here, and as per usual, actually this time he had the sports bag deposited under the table. He pulls out what is clearly a sword. Okay, an arming sword wrapped in some black cloth, and he unwraps it slowly. And it looks as if it's made purely of obsidian, but how should I say, the structure or the slightly lighter dark and really pitch black things just swirling very, very slowly. This is my sword, and should you ever have trouble with enemies of a more ethereal nature, aka ghosts or spirits, this sword can actually harm them. It's made out of a part of my own shadow.
Is this that sword you were talking about?
Yes.
She's not going to touch it. Like, she wants to touch it, like there's that excitement of a weapon in her eyes.
He slowly picks it up. I wasn't the creator of it, but Constantine, the Mekhet of that very weird bloodline, he made it for me so that I could actually fight back against the you-know-whats. And it has genuinely hurt them. It has hurt them. And remember that hunger spirit I spoke of?
Yeah.
And this you'll keep for yourself, but I slightly slipped. So instead of stabbing it, I ended up smacking it with the flat side, but it looked as if I just smacked the berserker sword on it. I don't know if you're... yeah, maybe you don't know that manga. Anyway, as if it had been smacked with like half a ton heavy sword. And then I repeatedly stabbed it until we had it dead. And so far I haven't let anyone touch it. And he looks at you for a while, clearly mulling something over in his mind.
Just puts a hand up. You're good. Especially if it's got part of your shadow, you said?
Yes, according to the old Egyptians, that's one of your 5 parts that makes your whole, your true whole. But you know what? He'll keep his hand on the grip, but he'll let the blade slowly go on her hand, as in the flat of the blade, so that she can feel it. Touch
And
it
she's just there
if
like,
you want to.
huh. Well, my hand hasn't disappeared yet. And like she's like just barely hovering over the blade. Ah, fuck it, her beast is excited, so she'll touch the blade. I don't know what's gonna happen.
You touch the blade, it is pleasantly cool. Almost as if the coolness you feel or you felt long ago when on a late spring day you walked out of the sun into the shade, just that pleasant coolness. And it is solid. Somehow this goddamn Mechit has managed to make shadow solid. That is on the flat of the blade. Will she try and test the sharpness of the blade itself?
Nah, man, nah. All she says as she lifts her hand away, does Constantine have a queue line of customers making weapons?
And then Marcus sheaths it in a leather sheath and wraps it up again. He seemed unwilling to just give it to anyone. I did have to swear that I would use it to fight evil spirits, and that I've done.
Oh, that's fine. No, I totally get that. I really, really do.
I guess you can ask, but I've got a strong feeling his answer would probably just be no.
That's the worst of it. Anyways, I want to know this hunter that's in the city, as I guess people are calling him.
Yes. But yeah, my main point was, should you know what show up and I be around, guess who'll be the first to attack them? It'll be yours truly.
Right. So why don't we actually comfy in the chair again? Sit back.
And he'll go, you know what, if that's okay with you, enough business talked for tonight. As in the serious stuff.
Yeah.
And he'll plop down in a chair beside her, open up one of those silver trays where there are a few cigarillos, and he also produces a packet of Lucky Strikes and goes, choose your poison. It goes on me. I like you. You're the first person I actually allowed to touch my sword. And then he realizes how that sounds. It just face palms.
Dying.
That's not what I meant.
I'm gonna hold on to that story.
If you want the bragging rights, you should at least earn them. He quips back. You know what? You know what? He says that with confidence. You know what? He doesn't give a shit. Marcus not give a shit tonight.
Don't give no shit tonight. Having your covenant, threatened to be destroyed. Fucking Baneford charging in on our conversations.
He has a bad habit of doing that, I won't lie. Fire.
Yeah.
And he lights whatever tobacco product she has chosen.
She'll go the Luckies.
Yeah, and Marcus just gives a nod. Now there's a woman who knows what she wants. Yeah, believe it or not, when I was a bit younger, that was terrible. Then again, my ex liked it. She liked the confidence.
You were terrible at what?
A lot of things, except there where it counts.
Ah, got it.
Let's just say she didn't marry me because of my handsome looks.
I know a few of those. I remember a few of those.
Yeah. Who knows? Might have been the sweetest lie in the world, or she might have been honest, but supposedly because of my character. But then again, that was a different life. That was a different life. Still quite don't know what I should make of the Kindred lifestyle. Can't really recommend it.
Depends on the lifestyle.
Then again, my lifestyle definitely has improved. Then again, it's surprisingly easy to convince people to donate. If it can be a little extra persuasive.
Yeah. All right, then let's have this conversation. Who's got the worst outside family?
Sorry, what do you mean with outside family?
Kindred family, where you come from.
Oh, so okay. Let's see. I'd say ladies first, but something tells me that you'd be knocking the shit out of me if I repeated that, so I won't.
No, I mean, if you want, I can totally go first.
Then again, they do say age before beauty, so nah. You know what? He takes out a silver coin. It looks positively medieval. He goes, you know what? You heads, me tails. What comes up comes first. What do you say? Right, he flicks it, and in the meantime, I'll go and roll a D2.
D2?
Actually, I'm probably not even able to do that here, so I'll just roll a D10, and you decide high or low. The numbers like 1, 2, 5.
How about this? Even, heads, odds, tails.
Even heads, odds, tails. Yeah. Right. That's called. Roll 1d10. And we have a 2.
Heads. So is that me?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, fate has decided. It has been decreed. I shall bear witness. He lights another cigarette.
Stateside, Boston. I was 21 years old. And I was running a delivery, which, according to my sire, he had to pick up and take it back because apparently it was kindred information. And I gave him the wallop of a lifetime. He was not expecting someone to fight back. But that was also my rent package that was supposed to pay for my rent that month. So he's like, I like the spiting, the fire in you. And he turned me. Little did I know that he was the childer of essentially a warlord from Baton Rouge under Madison LaRouge, or as they called her, Madison the Red. Clearly from her name, but also because she was a bit crazy and a little blood hungry. And she didn't want to let go. So because after a year of training and whatnot, you're able to step out for a year on your own to see where you would fare. And that's when I ran. She wanted me to be her right-hand man. Moreover, her own childer. It was great. So I ran. I haven't been home since. And they're probably hunting me down still.
Marcus lifts a glass and just says, yeah, as in life, so in death. You can choose your friends, but not your family. Cheers.
Cheers.
Downs it. Yeah, that's pretty rotten. Not pretty sure I can beat that, but at least I have to try. He chuckles, obviously having meant that as a light-hearted joke.
Yeah.
Right. So, yep. Homeless person. So, 45-year-old. Marriage has gone down the toilet. You have lost the little that you had left. You find yourself on the street, having done all manner of substances. I'm not proud of that time, but having after that at least met 3 other guys, and one in particular, who helped you getting out of all those holes. And you're slowly getting better. You're slowly starting to get your shit together. You might even be in the position that you might be able to slowly re-enter society. But one night, your mate just goes off, says he has to check something. It takes longer than expected. You go checking. Things have recently been looking a bit better since we had found Rusty. Yeah, the very same. And had managed to get him to a vet and some food in him. Anyways, I come across and see my mate drained dry. Well, I didn't know it at that time. He just looked unconscious. His eyes burning red. Cold, bestial. My first instinct was to run, but I fought it, and I charged the fucker. I'm not kidding you, there was a cricket bat just in the vicinity, so instinctually, I grab it, I do an upper swing, I get it crashing down on his shoulder. His shoulder doesn't move a millimeter. The goddamn thing bursts. He just chuckles amused as he tosses your best mate away as if it was a rag doll, fixes you in his stare, grabs your throat, chuckles some more. You fight. There is no chance. That supernatural strength, that unnatural strength, that cold grip. He looks into you, seems to recognize something, because there was a truly evil intent in his eyes, as if it wouldn't have been more possible to chill your blood and spine. He looks at you and just says, "Oh, you'll do fine." And then he sinks his teeth into you. You struggle, you're fading away. You think, okay, soon it will be over. At least it will be over. But wrong. You feel the hot blood go down your throat, and you just feel it burn. It burns you into submission. It forces you. It feels as if it's forcing your very soul on your knees. You try to fight it, but it's no use. It hurts. It hurts so bad. Next thing you realize, you stuffed some alley cat in your mouth and you're drinking its half-diseased blood. And yet it tastes so good. It shouldn't, but it does. Him just chuckling all the way, having a right old laugh. After I've got myself halfway through and shocked, he just dominates me. Dispose of the body, a shallow grave. So there I am, feeling myself compelled by commands beyond my control, beyond even my understanding at that point, half-starved, not really getting and just realizing that my body is not doing what my mind wants. The shallow grave is dug. You want to place your friend neatly there, but he just goes beside and tosses the body face first into the hole. Then he commands you, fill. And you fill, and you fill. You see a stone not too far away from you. You want to take it. You want to place it on the head, at least something to mark it. He takes the stone and just smacked it across my face. "I didn't tell you to put that there, dog. You'll behave." And to cut a very long story short, I got dragged away for about half a year. I was being kept more than an animal, than a person, occasionally forcing his will upon me, until I decided that I'd fake it. I'd behave as if I was the good little servant, as if I was crushed, as if he had me under the control. Another few things happen, and then finally, what felt like both horrific and yet the most victorious moment in my life, as I and my mates are running away from the estate, his ghouls not knowing what hit them, off to freedom, away from the frickin' bastard. And he just stops. Haven't seen the fucker since, and I still want to run him over with a truck.
Chloe's sitting back, listening. Were you a writer also in your previous life?
No, not really.
You should probably go into that, because that was spot on. But
Out of character, he's got expression too, so I thought I could wax lyrical a little bit.
just take like all of that and just put it on paper, dude. I'll buy the book. I think you win.
A sad title to be true. And to be
I
sure.
think you win.
Yeah, Yay!
Because, I mean, yeah, I haven't seen mine in almost 40 years. Because, again, I ran away young because I quickly realized what my grandsire was and what her plans were. I GTFO'd.
Yep. But
Yeah.
he produces a notebook and just notes something down. I'll keep your suggestion in mind. Can't promise anymore.
What, becoming a writer?
I just never considered it. Didn't really ever fancy myself a great storyteller.
No, put yourself in front of a typewriter and just go for it.
Can it be a laptop or a computer?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Haven't used a typewriter since the 80s.
I honestly just like the looks of them, the nostalgia.
I mean, there is something about banging those keys down. Just something mechanical about it. I was wondering, you wouldn't happen to know anyone who could organize me some aluminium powder or rust powder by that chance?
I'd have to ask around because I know you were asking me about the forge.
Yeah. Mind you, that's still on the table. I mean, I know it's a little cheesy, but as a friend of mine who likes to play D&D would say, come on, dude. It's not every day that you could buy a bladesmith by a vampire. And I just gave him a look and said, you're a giant nerd, aren't you? Yeah. And that's why I love him, because he's honest.
Okay, dude, I would totally take a sword from a vampire, okay?
Just think about it. You know, how many kindred could pull that off without just instantly frenzying?
No, the closest thing that I have, and she'll reach into her leather jacket, is a pair of brass knuckles. And they're old looking. They're old looking. And they have jewels encrusted into them. Some of the jewels look like they've had to be put back in multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
But it does.
Them knuckles got a history, eh?
Well, across the knuckles of them, they say Bruja.
And he has a look. Bruja. Is that Spanish for witch?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really strike me as a witch.
Have you ever heard of a Bruja?
Not really.
I'll trust you with the secret.
Oh my, let me double check. And with the slight shit he took ready, he actually goes and double checks the dead balls. But he seems to have lifted out of his funk, and dare I say it, Marcus seems playful. But okay, no. So Bruja.
Mm-hmm. I can't remember if that would be an occult or if that would be a politics. Because it's a gangrel bloodline.
Yeah, good question. If it were politics, at least I could do the chance die.
Go for it. Why not?
Who knows? Maybe by pure accident he once came across them mentioned in a book or something. You never know. Or somebody just made like an offhand remark. So, oh wait, wouldn't that be a wits politics?
Yes.
Okay, minus 3 plus 3. Okay, at least I get to roll 4. And I have 2 successes.
You have. And more just violent. They don't associate much with animals, as you know, their primary vampire gene is of being a gangrel. But it might be why like she's still very hesitant about her connection with roadkill.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, wait. Oh, and then Marcus makes big eyes. Oh, okay. I think I read about them. Known for their fiery temper, don't seem to have quite the same aptitude with animals than other gangrel are,
and not many around.
and not many around. However, I can't remember what your bloodline's speciality is.
Our temper.
I've got the feeling that it's probably more than just a temper, but if you don't want to tell me, you don't want to tell me.
Well, one, I can't remember. I have to re-up on it. Probably just look back on the old videos when I did it. But yeah, the biggest thing is like their temper out of game. A lot of it is their weakness is that they frenzy slightly easier than most. But she doesn't look like she's hiding it anymore. Like she's just like, yep, I just told another kindred. And just goes, she would be proud.
I take it that's a piece of information you'd rather keep for yourself?
Yeah.
You know what? And at which point he re-unwraps the sword and puts it on the table. Here is a little tradition me and my mates like to do back in the Air Forces. It actually dates back a few hundred years, but you want a proper oath? I think a gangrel like you could appreciate that. And he puts 3 fingers on the blade, lifts his other 3 fingers up and says, I, Marcus Irons, promise upon this blade to... Sorry, I, Marcus Irons, ask this blade to bear witness upon my promise that I shall not tell any kindred about Chloe Brothers' bloodline affiliation. And then he lifts it down, and that I promise. Should I break it, may this blade find my heart.
Oh, shit.
And he lets it go.
I appreciate that. Do I have to do the same thing? Seal the deal? Or is that just a you part?
That was just the me part. But if there's something you would want to...
No, I don't think so. But again, I do appreciate it.
And he puts it away for good this time. Yeah. Nah. One of these nights. The bastard is who he is. And I haven't quite fully made up my mind yet what I'll do to him when I come across him. But there is something that is more important, actually. That all these actions have been keeping me away from going to Harry's grave and make sure that he gets a proper burial with a headstone and all.
Maybe I'll come help you.
It would be appreciated. You know what? There's one thing I haven't really told anyone. A secret that I would need your word on.
I'll put my fingers on the blade for you.
He pushes it towards her. All right. Harry was a will worker.
A wheel worker.
I think the more common term is Annie moves closer. Mage.
Oh. Yeah, give me that blade.
Yeah. Mind you, not everything he told me made complete sense to me, but he was trying to help me, how did he put it? Fulfill my full potential? Yeah. Also made a stop at that. He robbed me of that potential. However, within the Order, I might have found a way to not unlock that I could have unlocked, would I have remained alive. But a weaker form. Sorcery.
Yeah. She'll put her 3 fingers on the blade, 3 fingers up. And I, holy brothers, do ask this sword to bear witness to this oath of secrecy of not disclosing information that has been talked about in this room, more or less.
And you feel the blade going slightly colder for a bit.
And she'll take her fingers off. That's creepy. That's just a wee creepy.
He puts it in the sheath. Yeah. So that's that. I'm currently trying to unlock a bit of sorcery so that the next time I come across the you-know-what, I'll have a particularly warm welcome for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I saw Stainforth pull off a trick I hadn't expected him to, but it was actually seeing him doing it that gave me the idea to check it up. He's a pyromancer.
Not even I knew that. And I've known him for 20 years.
We were in the first Elysium when they first showed up there. I was there attacking them. He was there creating a circle of fire around that rotten beast that I pinned to the wall. It burned. It burned well. That was the moment I knew Kindred are able to access sorcery. I think I think we're about square with our secrets, don't you think?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And she just kind of, it's like this instinct that she's just like scratching the side of her head that has a wolf tattoo on it. Maybe next time we meet, we'll share some more secrets.
Yeah.
And she'll fix her hair back and whatnot.
Yeah. And frankly, once this war is done, I know exactly what what one of my rewards for helping Alley Cat will be.
Okay, so there's an issue with that.
Didn't you hear? Oh wait, of course you did hear. Sorry, out of character brain fart.
Because of this war, I don't think the Carthians are going to move to get her sire back.
No reinforcements apart from myself, Julian, and maybe a handful of others if we're lucky.
Because Carthians are pulling in for this war. All of them. The gathering that I went to, I don't think I've seen a gathering that large in years, in the amount of time that I've been here. They're not fucking around.
Understood.
They're gonna let me step aside to do it.
You know what? Once I've been able to get my haven declared as neutral ground, as to be left alone. Once I've managed that, who knows? Maybe it's a good thing that I'm sitting out the main assault on the shard. Leaves me free to attack a different front. One that we know is connected. Well, that, and she's my friend. What kind of a friend would I be not offering my help?
I know, and that's why I'm feeling torn, because it is from one child to another. Of course, with my background, as I told you, I tend to stay away from those kinds of situations. I don't know what the backstory is like, but if Verb needs me, I have to help Verb.
Priorities. No. I understand. I understand fully. Well, put it that way. I'll try my best so that when we hit the guy on the barges, we hit them so hard that they'll never again be able to retaliate. Sun Tzu.
And the Carthians want to fully take out any and all Invictus. A genocide.
Funnily enough, you guys already have in safekeeping the only Invictus that I actually mildly care about.
Lenka?
Yep. Let's just say we had the odd bonding moment. Mostly about shit-talking our sires. He grins.
All right, well then I will take that in consideration moving forward, because I was all for keeping her alive. Got a little sketchy at the part of, tampered mind.
Yeah, that's a bit... she's a maquette. I mean, she's a decent enough lass from what I've seen. Also offered to help me with a potential little issue of mine, but yeah, well, you know how it is. Plans seldom survive first contact with the enemy. Mm. But yeah, and he looks on his wristwatch and realizes that he's taken a little bit more of a time than he planned to. But yeah, as far as the other Invictus go, you want my honest opinion on the matter?
Kill them all?
Well, I'm not the Mad King, at least not yet. So, and maybe many a decade before I ever get in that situation. Being a lead, I have to say, being a leader of a troop of men, that's one thing. But being in the position of like a president or a king, now that's a shitty position to be in. Who is halfway sane really wants that? Anyways, my opinion on the matter is, if Natalia survives, no skin off my back.
All right. Shall we head back? Pretty sure those dogs have run rampant long enough.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, if you happen to know any arms dealers or any folks who are more than happy to sell also armor without asking too many questions, I might have some business for them.
All right.
You
want a meeting with one of the leaders?
I would welcome that.
Which one?
You said the neutral fellow would be probably the right one to ask in my case.
All right. Foster it is. So I'll get on that.
Thank you. And no, I can say that with good conscience. And I'm sure an opportunity will arise that I can repay you for the favor. It has so far in my short existence. And with that, he starts unlocking the deadbolts, goes out, lets John know, yeah, I'm done for the night. Yeah. Only took some of the, yeah, you take care, dude. Fist bumps him. And just for the sake of brevity, we'll fast forward to in front of the butcher shop.
And it's like when the car pulls up and Chloe is unlocking the door that you hear like this probably fluster of like flaps in the backpack.
Yep.
And then things getting a little knocked over. And then thump, 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 as the doors open and the two dogs are probably just sitting right there.
Yes.
With the roadkill, like, the fuck did you get into? As he just licks his chops, I'm like, you got into fucking blood sausages again, damn it!
Yeah. Exactly. Rusty just, as soon as he sees Marcus, just sort of like straightens up in his sitting, as almost as if on thing, and then you just hear on a low growl in K9, at ease, soldier. and then he relaxes and wags his tail. Come here, you daft little. And he just schmoozes a bit with the almost fully grown, large-sized dogs. Yeah, Rusty's no little dog, that's for sure. But yeah, it's almost cheesy how adorable it is. Licking off Marcus's side. There's okay, boy, side, good. Puts a thing. How do you call it? Exactly, puts the leash on the hook and goes like, "Yep, he seems to have enjoyed himself, haven't you, boy?" Tail wagging intensifies.
I'll leave a note for the college students.
Yeah. But yeah, yeah. To be fair, if I get a chat with your leaders of the neutrals, would it be gauche if I asked if you guys had something like an honorary membership, which might, a card I could pull out and maybe signify that I'm not out to destroy you, but have got sympathies. Let's put it that way. I won't lie. You guys are growing more and more on me.
I'll talk to Foster. I'll put the idea in his head.
And I thought that was my job as the Ventru. Nah. I hate using that discipline on other kindred, and the only guys I normally put it on had it coming anyway. So, and he sort of looks a bit uneasy about that, sort of as if he said too much or not. And anyway, doesn't matter. I actually do respect people's personal space for the most time, unless it's really, really important. I don't like breaking it out.
Not a problem.
He seems to feel a bit ashamed about his dominate ability.
I ain't too concerned, as long as you don't use it on me.
Well, that's no way for one veteran to treat another.
No.
See, I don't have any reason to use it. And you're a straight shooter, so don't have to try and pull worms out of your nose.
Nope.
Or vice versa. Damn, why couldn't I have just bumped into you first? That would have made things so much easier.
Why, did you get a rough start already? Or are you talking me, sire, or I don't know. Oh, it's a little late. It's like, oh yeah, it is a little late.
Yeah. Nah. I mean, once I got away from dickweed, sure would have enjoyed bumping into you as a fledgling. That's for sure.
I was an idiot when I was a fledgling.
No, I meant sorry. When I was making my way to London, definitely would have enjoyed your company than the other two. Yeah. It wasn't fun being their little bitch for a bit, but the things we do.
Yeah, my bad. I was getting chased by wolves.
It's okay. Mind you, when I run into those two gangrels, I'd seen the shadows of werewolves, or at least what I thought were werewolves, on the hillsides. I swear they were following us.
Where at?
And he describes an area outside of Greater London to the southwest, where it goes through some forests.
Nope, not the ones that I'm worried about. You're clear.
Yeah, so didn't want to risk it. But anyway, what's happened has happened, and the choices we make and the actions that follow, yada yada yada, you know it. Are a reflection of who we are. So that's that. But what's that, boy? Okay. Yes. We're yes. I've got the fun ball with me.
Go
Patient.
for a ball. Take a walk through the park on your way home.
That's what I'm gonna do. Poor thing. Probably has been feeling neglected these last weeks.
Why did you bring me here sooner?
Out of character, I actually just wanted to say 1 week, but I effed it up. So that's that.
No, you're fine.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah, exactly. What Julian said. Just some normal activities. Yeah. Anyway, Chloe, was a pleasure. And he'll try to grip her lower arm instead of her hand in a more archaic form of a handshake.
She'll do the same. Stay safe.
Stay smart.
Always. Stay armed. Do not go out unarmed.
Well, I have to. Not all of us can be Gangrel, and he how should I say, he sort of flickers his fingers. Obviously, yeah, making a nod towards the Gangrel claws.
Oh, honey, those haven't sprouted out yet.
Well, I've got the next best thing, and he pats his sports bag,
There
where
you go.
Chloe knows that the shadow sword is in there.
There you go.
And I dare say, unless there's anything else the players would like to declare,
Nah.
well, in that case, we shall transition. We shall leave the scene with Chloe, seeing as Marcus with his trusty hound Rusty disappear into the night, the odd happy bark being heard in the distance.
Bork, bork.
Chloe retires to her haven to do whatever else needs doing that night. And with that, thank you players for playing. Thank you watchers for watching. This was another session for Vampire the Requiem, Requiem for London. Things are heating up. See you next time.
Bye.